Car insurance is a scam. Let me explain why I say that. If you have full coverage on your vehicle, on your automobile, and you have to utilize coverage, meaning somebody hits you and they don't have insurance, or if you're responsible for the accident and you have to be covered by your insurance company, guess what happens to your rate or your premium, your monthly payment? Guess what happens? It increases. Now, I've had insurance with a particular insurance company since I was 17 years old. I'm 47 years old. And guess what? The time that I used them, when I needed them to cover a vehicle that I had wrecked, guess what happened? They raised my premium. Now, I've been paying them since I was 17 years old. I've probably given them hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I can count on one hand how many times I've had to use my insurance company. So that being the case, why did my insurance go up? Because I had to use money that I had already given them. I've been paying them since I was 17. That's 30 years. Why did my insurance payment go up? Now, if you have a good record, if there's a lot of time in between accidents, it starts to drop. But keep in mind that if you ever have to use them and you're at fault, or they have to cover your vehicle because the other person does not have coverage, your cost goes up. Make sense of that. I thought I paid it in advance. I thought it should stay low because I've given y'all money that you all have invested and has helped grow your business. Here goes the other part of it. If there is a multitude or all of a sudden a casualty that affects a lot of customers to that insurance company, whether it's home or auto, like a hurricane, tornado, something like that, guess what? Your insurance goes up. Can you believe that? Why does it go up? Because they had to come out of pocket to help other people out. So now your insurance goes up. What kind of crazy mess is that? What am I paying you in advance for? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have insurance. We need insurance, but it's set up to benefit them. We think it benefits us because when we use it, we're covered. But shouldn't we be? And I know you guys are going to say, you're just complaining because you have so many cars and I have to keep them all insured. I mean, yeah, I do have to keep them all insured, but no, that's not why I'm complaining. You see, I learned that at an early age when I was in a car accident a long time ago and my insurance went up. I said, well, what am I paying you all for? I thought I was paying you all in advance to cover me in case something were to happen. Yeah, you got to come out of pocket sometimes. Matter of fact, I know people who their insurance company canceled them because they had to come out of pocket a lot of money. Like, they actually told him that we're not in the business to give you all money or something like that. We're in the business to make money, not give money away. Something like that. I was like, what the heck? Now, I know it's big business. I know that they're investing the money that you're paying every month. And I know that the money that you're giving them, they're paying to somebody else and vice versa. It's all like business. I get it. But a whole lot of money coming in, you got to come out of pocket sometimes. It's like life insurance. People pay life insurance. People are selling life insurance. They're paying people to sell life insurance because they make so much money off of life insurance. They're selling insurance in general is receiving money just in case something were to happen. You're covered just in case something happens. Well, we know death is inevitable, but you're living a long time before death occurs, before they have to pay out. And I actually brought this up to my personal insurance company. Like, hold on. You guys are in the life insurance business. How often do you really have to pay out? But how many customers do you actually have? How much money do you all bring in? And plus, with investing, whether it be real estate, whether it be stocks, I don't know, whatever they invest the money, however they invest their money. I mean, it's real big business. I mean, that's what keeps the economy moving. But insurance in general is a hustle. It's business. It's crazy. It's just crazy. You pay out your whole life, and then when you ask for some of that money back, they throw a fit or they charge you. So now you got to pay more money to make up for the money that they gave you, which is money that you've given them for years. It's such a hustle. It's pitiful. It's so sad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, then. So what am I saying? Am I saying don't have insurance? Just drive around with no insurance and take the risk? Nah. That's dumb. But just understand the business side of it. Also, make sure that you're covered. The type of coverage that you have is the coverage that you need. Don't over coverage and don't under coverage. So you may wonder, what kind of insurance do I have? How do I have so many vehicles? How can I afford insurance on all these vehicles? Well, you gotta be smart. Depending on what time of the year, I might not even have full coverage on some of these vehicles. I might just have liability. I might have storage. It all depends on how I'm driving, because I can't drive 10 vehicles all at the same time. So of course, I'm going to stagger what I drive, and it depends on the time of the year. So if there's a car that's going to be put in storage, I'm not driving it, why would I have full coverage? Come on, that's stupid. So I'm going to always have comprehensive, and sometimes I have liability, sometimes I have storage, and sometimes I have full coverage. It all depends on what I have going on. There was one time in my life where I allowed my insurance to lapse. Basically, I didn't pay the bill. I was young. I was probably about 20 years old, something like that. 21. I was 21. Yeah, I was 21 years old. And I didn't pay that bill. I just kept putting it off. And then guess what happened? I was in a car accident. Yeah, that sucked. And guess what? It was my fault. I pulled out, didn't see the car coming, hit it, totaled his car out, and I pretty much totaled my car out. And so I got sued, my insurance company, it was only lasted by 1 day. I didn't pay the bill, it was 1 day late. And then I caused an accident. Insurance let me know, they were gonna let me know if they were gonna cover me, and you already know they didn't cover me. And so I had to come out of pocket, man. I personally got sued. It was a personal lawsuit, and I had to pay out of pocket. I had to pay that person's, the cost of his vehicle, what it was worth, and I had to pay his medical bills. Yeah, jacked up, man, jacked up. And that set me back financially because I had nothing to show for the expenditures. Thankfully, I was able to pay them back in monthly payments. But still, that was a lot of money I had to come out of pocket. I lost my vehicle, and it could have been a whole lot worse. Somebody's life could have been taken away, and it would have been my fault. So I carry a lot of guilt regarding that, but I learned a lesson from that. Always have insurance. Never let your bill lapse. Always pay that joint. Make that a priority. Secondly, be smart how you have insurance coverage. Make sure that you are covered the way you need to be covered. Have minimal car insurance at least. And they always say shop around, get the best rate. So do what you got to do, but always have insurance. Like, don't try to cut corners unnecessarily. Make sure that you're covered, or that people on the road are covered. Because the worst thing that can happen is what happened to me, where you cause an accident and that other person is not protected because you're not protected because you decided to be negligent. All right, don't be negligent. Handle your business, do what you got to do. Just be smart how you do it. And like I said, understand the game, understand how the insurance business goes, man. But you know, we are going to get hustled a little bit. You just got to try not to get too taken advantage of, but we all get taken advantage of. It's all a big game. It's all a big hustle. We're all a part of it. Just try to minimize the damage, all right? But make sure you're covered, all right? Make sure you're covered.